They start on the attack, which means Falcons are lined up for defensive duties, and SunPayus gets domed immediately. There's that P250 from BetBoom's Overpass striking true.
Yeah, Overpass on P250s and pistols, man. We see it so often. It is the common choice. It is the meta, and Zorta makes it work. We were speaking to each other before the game as well. I'm sure it won't be the only time we mention this throughout the series as more viewers come in, of course, but yeah, I mean, Zorta's style is very recognizable. And, yeah, we're really looking for a good series from him today. BetBoom, as a whole, have not been too great individually as a group. They've been all right. But Falcons have had some stars perform, numbers-wise. But the start to Overpass is a great one for BetBoom. Magno will find one of his own as well. And Maden is the last one left on the A site, trying to hold them at bay. Try and block the dumpster smoke. He does do it to some extent, but he's still got to somehow find a way to get 2 or 3 kills here. He finds one. He does find the second. All right, staying alive, 11 HP. He's actually playing with the one-way in the smoke right now next to the dumpster. But eventually stopped by Zorta, and now the Magisk Dupree rotation can come in.
Yeah, there's that Danish duo. Needs to find something immediately. Magno up close with Doolies poses a problem, though, and immediately he strikes. And Dupree left all alone. He's being run down by these players. BetBoom do not give Falcons a second to breathe or even try and formulate a plan on that retake. A really good design on that round as well, because you get the initial kill with players overflowing over towards Fountains. The P250 rings true, and then they go completely passive. They wait for a mistake to be made. It's found with Magno going passive in towards Connector. The dual Berettas overextend for the Falcons, and from there, even though Maden makes it a conversation, it always feels like you're in control if you're on that T side. Force by in now, and a fast one. How about BetBoom?
Oh, they're going straight through lots of smoke, and you know what? Looks like it's going to work comfortably. Win the pistol, and the school of Overpass often decides that a rush against the force buy actually works more often than not. Sticking together, making sure you play the pack-based mentality, don't get picked off by these deagles, and the possibility of the SunPayus scout as well. And BetBoom have chosen correctly, and they'll be rewarded with a 2-0 start. But of course, Falcons, they're aware of that. They'll give it up, and they'll try again in the following round with what they have bought up. So the third round, I should say, for BetBoom is going to be basically exactly the same as this one, trying to avoid what Falcons have invested in. We're going to have a unicorn round here, I think, though. There's been a few of these, actually, in this tournament so far. If we exclude the bomb explosion, every single player had 100 health intact, and the round's over.
Yeah, you pretty much just fast forward.
Yeah.
Just add another 1 to the score tally. Looks like we've got a little bit of a techie here, so hopefully we can get that resolved ASAP. But I really like the decision just to save, because there's no point. You're going to be on eco anyway. You might as well just say, okay, well, let's give it up. If we're the Falcons, we can bring forward all of our investment from the prior into this, and then in the next round it can go again with guns. So sure, BetBoom make a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, you can still do the damage later on. It's interesting. Obviously, we spoke to Dupree yesterday, and he was saying a lot about kind of feeling the external pressures and expectations on this team. And whilst they all feel a little bit smiley, you see that Maden's giving a giggle down the line, that there's a lot of pressure here. And I wonder, obviously, pressure can go both ways. It can either form diamonds or it can crack and swallow you up whole. And I wonder whether this event is going to be either a turning point for the Falcons and they can redefine themselves towards the later stages of this year, or whether the ground might swallow them and eat them up. Obviously, this is still a game in which both of these teams have got one more life. It's the position to stay and be mid, or held down to the LCQ. That came out a bit wrong.
Well,
oh dear.
it may have come out wrong, but you're actually not wrong, because I think that both these two teams will admit that right now they are middling tier 1.5 teams, right? They're not at that upper echelon just yet. So, no, it sounds funny, but you've accidentally called it right there, I think, to be honest. Quick technical pause, hopefully not too long. Snappy having a quick discussion there with our referees. And it seems like we're going to get back into the action pretty quickly. The in-ears are going back in. Yeah, we can get back underway sharpish. Of course, we both spoke to Dupree.
Yeah, you were there.
At the end of their match against at the end of the match against Tyler yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, the mood isn't amazing, to be honest. I mean, it's sort of halfway on many occasions. We're trying to be smiley, but we're having to build into it, right? It can't all be sunshine and rainbows off the bat." And no team really can be that way, to be honest. It takes time to synergize, despite all the experience that these players may have, despite the legendary title total that Dupree and Magisk have. New experience changes things, and they still might be playing really well, but different synergy and time, especially time, is required.
Look at this, 5-player stack on B. Falcons think that BetBoom might just run it right back. But instead, that's not the case. BetBoom play a lot more of a default-centric round, taking the space, using the utility to gut out toilets, and with the molly up towards top connector, it gives Magno a little bit of leeway towards the bottom. So good space being adopted here. The connector being cleared, this gives you a lot of access. Do you want to go in towards short and execute B? That feels like the answer, and what a timing this is, because Falcons reset A.
Ah, yeah. Looks like BetBoom have actually read this one really nicely. Magisk is here, but he needs to find a way to stay alive. That HE is a little bit erroneous, but they do deal with Magisk straight away. But in this sort of situation for Falcons, they can absolutely try and do some damage here. They're buying next round anyway, and stopping BetBoom from building up so much bank is actually quite important in this sort of scenario. So maybe there's an argument that saving the Kevlar would get them full utility and they'd be at full strength in that following round. That is fair. But I think throwing at least 2 players in is worth it. That's why we're keeping the Deagle and the Scout close, I think.
Yeah, even get a wrap on with the MP9s and connector to get 600 and deny weapons, potential for upgrades. That could also be the play here. You see Dupree walking his way down the stairs, but this has been very controlled and measured so far for BetBoom. It's not really been spontaneous. See that movement on the shadows is wild. I promise you, that's not really how it looks. There is that kill towards Magno. Snappy around the corner. Siren won't get decimated. Instead, it goes the other way. But that's fine. You've confirmed that there's at least SMGs. It's not a complete future-proof round out of BetBoom. And you throw away, what, 2 MP9s? That's not the end of the world, because you're upgrading to M4s anyway. SunPayus could even look to have his AWP in play too if he drops a scout on the floor.
Yeah. Big sigh there from Zorta. A little agreeing with his teammate. But yeah, I think in this situation, yeah, that was just before that moment when we saw it on the X-ray with Dupree's position there. We saw the surf off the corner of Overpass on that short position, and yeah, making the X-ray model look very funny. Michael Jackson peak maybe returning. We can assure you guys we are still playing on the old patch, because of course Overpass is in the pool. And yeah, quick technical pause. Looks like we might have a problem with Steam. That looks like the phone box to me. There it is. So you can re-log in. Get those QR codes in action. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be super sad. At least in my eyes, low-key, I'll say it out right now. I'll admit it. I have an Overpass poster on my wall. Nerd emoji. But like, I love the map. Always have. I love the map, always have. I understand it's actually like not a terrible choice for a map to be removed. T-sides can be really slow and not exactly that entertaining for the viewer, but I still provide so much more tactical depth in my eyes than Dust 2. Dust 2 might be a legendary map, might be a legendary name in Counter-Strike full stop. But yeah, I think maybe there'd be less complaints if Vertigo got replaced instead. But I think a lot of people wanted Train over Dust 2. I think I saw a poll or something, a couple of polls on Twitter, and all of them were pretty similar, like 70% disagreed with Dust 2 and only 30% agreed with the choice to bring it back. So It's still obviously a map pool discussion is one of the biggest discussions in Counter-Strike, full stop. And it's what makes it so interesting because, of course, it's all opinion-based. But
yeah, they can be dangerous.
I will miss Overpass.
So will I. I feel, look, I also think that just the reason for it as well is probably you take a look at the maps that were played in the major playoffs. Overpass was the lowest on the list. Obviously, a lot of outcry for Vertigo. What I want to see, though, and I feel like what kind of makes CS special to me, personally, subjective, guys, all right? I'm going to go for a bit of an opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong, but I feel like what makes CS so special to me is just the intricacies you can get with the maps. It feels like by bringing Dust 2 back, sure, obviously there's going to be teams that are going to refine it. There's going to be a whole new way to play with the nades being broken and breaking the smokes where it comes to mid to B, where it comes to one smoke now only being used for long, that sort of thing. But at the same time, it feels like we're taking a sideways step and then relying a lot more kind of like the boomer mentality of this is just a classic FPS map. You've got 3 distinct lanes. I really like the elevations and nuke being so tactically depth where your rotations, your communication has to be relied on. Sure, Vertigo, people don't like it, but at the same time, you still got that elevation. You've still kind of got that innovation where you can try and use mid a little bit more. Think about when Vertigo was first introduced to the pool as well. And sure, it is still a conversation of this is the A retake simulator map, but mid's being exploited a lot more. We are seeing a lot more B takes now with CS2 being introduced. There's some variety there. And I really hope Valve take the direction in which they experiment with maps like Ancient, for example. They also, with the new Source 2 engine, I feel like that would enable all sorts of possibilities for innovation when it comes to maps. And maybe we take a look in the community route again and we get the community map pool creating. We bring more maps in on a rotation basis. That would make it harder for teams. See, there's so many things that you got to consider. But I feel like Dust 2, Mirage, Ancient, I think you can throw that in the category. All feels very samey. There's a lot of familiar things you can do on each of those maps. And whilst that might appeal to a new player, right at the upper echelons, right up here, I'm saying, no, please. Don't do it.
Too puggy. Yeah, lots of pros have kind of said it's a little bit too on the puggy side, the current pool change. But of course, we'll have to see how it all plays out. It is a new engine. It is, of course, Dust 2 back in the pool with those smokes being able to be broken by HEs, like you say, could make a big difference on the B doors, the mid doors, the cross toward A from long, and all that sort of stuff. So we will have to see. I think every single change that Valve made yesterday was excellent quality of life changes. Just most people see the map pool change and see it as a bit of an overshadow of the other good things they've done, because lots of people have disagreed with it, and I am one of them, I will admit. So we'll see anyway. Let's enjoy Overpass while we still can, and let's see if Falcons can enjoy it, because BetBoom have had a great start to this game. Magisk does well. SunPayus has actually chosen to keep his scout in this round. Didn't drop it for an M4, but at the moment they're winning this gun round, this all-important opening CT gun round, nicely in a 5 versus 3.
This was fantastic, by the way. A molly gets dropped. I think it was from either Maden or Snappy in towards water, and that completely negated BetBoom from lining up their double nades onto Magisk.
Yes. And
from there, that actually accelerates the play of this T side to try and go ahead early with flashbangs. They get shut out at the first 2 instances. Dupree's got really good control up towards Fountain. Falcons know this is going to be a B play, and they've got reinforcements ready and raring to go.
Ah, this is perfect. That is a really good fundamental choice there from Falcons. You may have a significant advantage, but don't sit back. Don't let the T side dictate things. They go for a clear on Monster with 2 players peeking, and Magno is not going to be long for this world here. Dupree is ready, and he gets his second kill of the game. First round on the board for Falcons on their CT side.
And it's all about limiting that control, sure. The Falcons don't directly take short by fighting for it with guns, but by using their utility, they stave out this early pressure and they make BetBoom commit into something on the bonus buy that they didn't really want to do at that moment in time. And from there, where the round reaches a standstill, that's where you get these lurks. That's where you get these flanks. over towards the long side and the short side. Just guaranteeing the round there for that CT side. A good first notch on the belt. BetBoom back to this short control, and this one might be a little bit faster, but it also might be a bit more deliberate. How on earth?
Blinded up. Magisk still gets one. Chiron finally make the only imprint in BetBoom's round so far, but Magno will flank water, so we do have the bomb site, but the question is, do you expect a double flank? It's Maden and Dupree on this. Sorter will give it a quick look. Oh, if he won that duel, it would have set up Magno nicely, but let's see what the new boy can do. 6 kills on the board already. He's actually aggressed all the way toward CT here. He's going to have a quick heaven flank, and probably the last position they'll expect, but eventually they'll weed it out, and there we go. It's just checked at the last second by SunPayus. He does get found, but Dupree instantly takes the kill, and yes, they will be able to get the defuse in time. Maden is on it. He has the kit. They're going to go and grab that up right now. And that's a second for the Falcons.
Yeah, pretty sure Dupree just scoops it up right at the very end. Not really sure how Magisk is able to win out that fight towards Monster. It feels like everyone's blind in that encounter, but his bullets connect first, and from there, Snappy at the back of the bomb site said he's been working on his individual level. It comes into full effect. Good clearing by the Falcons as well, just making sure that... Oh, all right. Just making sure that with that double Monster setup, they could clear everything quickly, and then that kind of eliminates all the possibilities. Once they get the confirmation, Dupree. Sharp with it. Good showing. It's what you want. It really
More
is.
good individual work from Dupree. It's so nice to see. BetBoom trying to keep the pace fast, though. Straight into B again, and actually, Siren and Chiron will get their kills this time. Magisk is now very stuck. He's done the best he could possibly do. He's got his 2 kills, but he's out of ammo on the A1S. Magno is only 10 HP on this lurk around. It's going to take a while for him to find something, so it might have to be SunPayus here. We saw a slow start yesterday against Tyloo, and then he really stepped into the game and delivered.
It all hinges on whether Dupree can get contact here. Because you're right, Magno's completely locking this out from heaven, so it's only a matter of time before SunPayus gets removed. Oh, that's nervy. Bated breath for both of those players, but Magno gets the best of him. And that's an AWP now dropped on the floor. He can scoop that up. Ready for Sorter in the follow-up. Does they even want the AWP? They've been getting a lot of success out of this fast play in towards B. They've really noticed that even with Magisk finding just a multi-kill, they're able to breach it and just overwhelm the Falcons anyway. So they are running it back. They are doing the same things, but it's working. So if it ain't broke, why try fix it?
Absolutely. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is a very famous saying, but I think my dad probably told me that one when I was very young. It stayed with me ever since. There was a few from my dad that I'll take with me. Sometimes I'll bring them out in a cast and see if they work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Falcons 2-4. BetBoom. A nice response again, and of course, money hasn't had a chance to be built up. So, there's a chance for BetBoom to break that CT economy once again. Sorter does have that AWP, of course, recovered, like we said. And that Magno look was really nice at the end of that previous round, just making sure that's recovered. Every little helps for BetBoom. Dupree in connector, and having to check both angles, which is, of course, really awkward for him. Molly coming through, just ahead of it. And Anthony is keeping a close eye on it. Wary of that possibility, but SunPayus is there to help, and that's really nice team play. And they realise that utility is coming through toward connector. SunPayus then pushes forward to make sure Dupree isn't alone. That's an early 5v4 for Falcons.
And at the same time, they got out the short control, which again leaves BetBoom with limited options, and it feels like the Falcons have pieced this one together. This T side has to be outside Monster. They're ahead of the flashes this time, Siren and Chiron, but Magisk is ahead of the play. Maden on the dig will also claim a life with the help of Snappy. And with 25 seconds, that's around it. Done and dusted. Locked out of the B bomb site this time by yet again good map control being taken by the Falcons. I really like the fact that SunPayus steps in there to help out dupreeh, because at the bare minimum, you're guaranteeing a trade. And then as soon as that contact is taken, that's where you get Magisk, Snappy walking in towards short, making sure that they have a good understanding of where this could end up. By that point, it's either long or it's either over towards Monster.
Yeah, that's very well figured out there by Falcons. See Magisk getting involved in the comms as well in between rounds. I think we always mention about these sort of rosters, right? You have so many players who have strong voices in a team. How do you judge that between the five? And you've even got Sonic keeping a close eye behind you as well, right? So, long term, got to figure out those sort of things. It's these sort of projects that do take time. Instant success is so unlikely. They might have had a decent run in their first tournament in Katowice, but sort of things can be a bit of a flash in the pan sometimes. Round 8, minute 20, and BetBoom are up connector, looking to try and take control perhaps of front bathroom, as they've got the rest of their team coming to join up with them. Bomb on the back of Siren. Utility is not limited just yet. They've still got 3 smokes and a couple of flashes and an all-important incendiary on Nafany picked up. He's also watching for the jump spot mid-dice. SunPayus close range. Playing close bathroom without that AWP, of course. Possibly will be flashed in. He absolutely will be. It's great timing on it, and he makes it too. Really clean from SunPayus, judging the 20 bullets in the M4 to at least double down and do some good damage to Chiron as well.
Smart as well from dupreeh, because he's jumping from the signs. He's not exposed by Zorta's AWP, and he can also flash in SunPayus up close. Now his next task is to deal with Magno, and he's done exactly that. It feels like dupreeh is completely alone here, but no, he's got backup. Maden tucking in towards the truck. dupreeh fights alone. Now for Nafany and Chiron, they need to make sure that A is completely clear. Turn of the flash. Maden, though, completely denies. And yet again, BetBoom shut out of the round. They have the right idea of what they want to achieve, but it's the slight variations of the tempo that Falcons are now enforcing. This round's a lot more passive over towards toilets. Setting up the players for success is telegraphed by utility, by the beyond the pure contact of the rifles. So there's a lot of differences that Nafany and now the rest of the gang of BetBoom now need to try and piece together. The one thing they're getting for sure, though, is a lot of space over towards connector and short.
Yeah, it kind of possibly could have hinged on that one kill, right? Maden played it beautifully in the truck cubby there, getting that quick turn away from the flash and getting that easy-looking headshot, but could have easily changed the round, even in that late stage. It looked easy, but wasn't absolute perfection. Anyway, in the following, they have that saved AWP, of course. They'll drop it back over to Zorta. Chiron's got the Galil. It's a full force across the board, and now the M4 is so tagged up, but so is dupreeh. He still gets one on Siren. How clean was that burst? And he's looking for more as well. They know he's still here, but they haven't been able to flush him out yet. And he almost does more, but he probably does the most he could possibly do.
Yeah, again, look at this. One piece of contact being taken on the extremity, and that allows Falcons to find success on the other. Maden has got such an advanced flank. He can just hold and wait patiently. Snappy can even deal with the connector threat as Nafany swings open the door. How diligently does he clear? First time of asking is good from Snappy, but Magno will hit the trade. A missed shot from SunPayus as well. Will at least spot out the bomb. So that's further information for this CT side. And now between Magno and Chiron, they've got to work it out. But here's Maden, who's been here the entire time. And surely that locks in the round yet again. BetBoom can't deal with it. They're being pinned in by these Falcons players who are being incredibly proactive as soon as the first instance of contact is taken. Bomb on the back for Chiron at the very least means if he can get past SunPayus here, it could be a plant. Or even if he plants the default, that's still extra money being injected into the bank balance. Difficulty then is trying to get this afterplant online. Jump spot, no facing, SunPayus holding. And because he's on the line first, he's able to get the jump on him. Defuse locked in, 10 seconds not a factor. Falcons go in the lead.
Yeah, that was quite a nice hard clear from Chiron there, to be honest. He knew exactly the angle to check, but as you say, when you're already posted up on it, it makes it borderline impossible to hit that shot first. And somehow you get tagged through the wall and not taken down. This is good work from Falcons, and once again, it's so often Dupree, the point man. It's crazy that he's a 5-time major champion, and he's still spoken about by quite a lot of people around the scene as underrated, right? It's I mean, quite incredible, really. Doing more great work for Falcons. BetBoom down to a full pistol by this time, of course. Chance for Falcons to perhaps pull clear a little bit on CT side. 4 is not bad on T side overpass, but in the position they originally found themselves in, they would have hoped for a lot more.
I would completely agree with that statement. The fact that it felt very concrete. But yeah, again, this is where scorelines can be a little bit deceptive, right? And it's just the value of grabbing that pistol. Suddenly it can earn you a bonus 2 free rounds, which makes such a difference in MR12. Let's see what the pistols have got to go for. Obviously, primary objective in this one for BetBoom is just whacking down the bomb on a site. Getting a bit more money involved for the future. Siren having a little bit of a peek, but it's SunPayus that's now being dynamic, and that nade bounces up the stairs straight in the face of Zorta.
That's so annoying. You had to use an all-important, very thin across-the-board utility as well to put out that Molotov, and even the spray through the smoke works on Siren as he tries to find a way to move away from that position. Brandon, this is a pistol round which should go Falcons' way. So I'm going to quickly say something as we just see it happen. You know what? I'll stop that for a moment because there's still a risk here. They're doubled up on longbow, and that should confirm it, and it absolutely will. Plenty of damage done. Then expect Magno there. So that's sorted.
Yep.
Tell you what's not sorted. M80, 11, G2, 1. On Ancient, on map 1, on the A stream.
Sorry, one more time.
M80, 11.
Yeah.
G2, 1 at halftime.
As in,
on Ancient.
As in they've taken map 1, or they've got 1 round. Surely you're not telling me they've got 1 round.
G2 have 1 round.
Bloody hell. All right.
Swisher is 13 and 6. Morbs is 12 and 8. I'm not sure what's happening there, but you know what? Fair play, M80. Maybe that win that Mongols got against G2 was not really a massive upset after all, but if M80 are able to pull this off, then that would be unbelievable. But anyway, back to the case at hand in front of our very eyes.
Ooh, a runny B here.
Daughter. Oh, they're about to clear it out. Lovely run boost. We know those can be so difficult to put in place on CS2. They can be a bit buggy on occasion, but that works to absolute perfection. It pulls the crosshair of Maden away, and Zorta gets the entry.
Yeah, and now Big D needs to step up, and that's fantastic from Dupree. 2 kills immediately. That puts the round back in even steading, and SunPayus can play from the back of dice. And for BetBoom, it's now a gamble. Do you want to lean more towards this A-bomb site where you've already found the success? Or do you want to hedge your bets in towards B? But Magisk has got the space over towards short. Siren mollied off. That would have been heard by the rotating Snappy, who even wants to push the issue. Nade provides a little bit of cover, but the elevation is perfect out of Siren. And now SunPayus needs to step up. We'll find the first. Relies on this flank from Magisk. Staying alive is key. Zorta gives him a test, and Shadow spotted, but the kill not collected. There's that flank being active. The incendiary's great, but Zorta hits a shot. The issue is there's no time. Even with the jump, even with the hope of opportunity, it's denied. And even the Ort furthermore, no money for Zorta. $200 in the bank account. And it's the Falcons that are profiting.
Oh my goodness. I was ready for Zorta to do something absolutely ridiculous there and just hit a wall bang jumping straight through the dumpster wall there. I thought it could have happened, but not to be, and now he's in a horrible situation. That must be the worst feeling. Last round of the half coming in. You know you've got so little time left on the clock in that round. You try and do something with it, but then get taken down after time to have $200 in that bank. Super well played by Falcons again, and the battle back has been superb. And once again, it's Dupree on a number of occasions. It started so well. Here's this run boost. That couldn't have worked out better for BetBoom. But then Dupree just makes that double kill look elementary. But it was so difficult. SunPayus had one bullet left as well before he fell away. Had to put up the dualies. But gets the job done. And poor old Zorta is obviously committed to just the Glock and been given utility to try and set up his teammates in round 12.
Go back to B. Look, this could be a nice change up for BetBoom. They're able to find a lot of success over towards this site, but Falcons have got it stacked. 4 players here immediately. Galil, Kyron sings out. So pressure and contact known. Now for this T side. They don't need to commit anywhere. They don't need to shove it into a bomb site right at the moment. Boost on the right-hand side for Maden. He can get up safely, and does he spot Zorta? Yes, he does now. Oof. So now you know one's monster, one's short. It's probably going to be B. You can keep everyone here if you're Falcons.
No need to shift anything at the moment. Dupree still got nades primed as well. Nathani's got his molly and smoke toward A. They're either going to shift back to A or he's going to provide a fake, and it's going to be the former. SunPayus in position. He's got the setup with Dupree. Site player, bathroom player. 30 seconds for BetBoom to try and do something with this. SunPayus will just fall off the angles. The utility comes flying in, and now Dupree has to deliver once again. He finds one, and SunPayus finds his one too, but it's only one for Dupree. SunPayus needs to do more, but it doesn't matter if Maden's here delivering. And look at the damage done to Chiron. Brilliant work from SunPayus. A triple kill to end off the half of Falcons, and 8-4 at that. Falcons 8, BetBoom 4. And when you consider BetBoom won the pistol and the 2 conversion rounds to follow, that is a great half from Falcons.
Yeah, that's all the gun rounds just going in their favor. That kind of felt like the difference between them and Tyloo as well, especially on Mirage, for example. So if they can work in a little bit of pistol potency, that's a sign of good things to come. B attack. Trying to give BetBoom a taste of their own medicine straight in beyond the flashbang. Siren not being cleared at barrels. Siren, oh, he finds everything alongside Magno. Complete decimation on that hit. And BetBoom grab another pistol.
Wow. Okay, then. That was fast. That almost gave me some memories of that famous Tizian clip from Barrel. Remember where he puts his head down and flicked up to hit the instant tap? It wasn't as sexy as that. It wasn't as sexy as that, but still, that is one clean pistol for BetBoom. You see the rotation hit from Magno as well. I mean, that's just instant. That's what you want to see from this young star. He's been touted. We've been seeing some incredible numbers from him online, of course, and in his previous rosters as well. Spirit Academy, K23, like we've mentioned. K23 have brought up players in the past, have gone on to great things. Norbert, Fame, for example. Do we have a slight keyboard issue here, perhaps? We've got some some question marks being posed by the looks of it. Hopefully not too long, but yeah, that couldn't have been better for BetBoom, especially to set themselves up on CT side after you've lost so many gun rounds.
So this one's now Falcons 8, BetBoom 5. On the A stream, Mr. Trav. MAT 13, G2 2 on Ancient.
What the bloody hell, mate? What? Like, honestly, that is the scariest part for G2. We could go on and on about this result forever, right? But the scariest thing about it all is the fact that Mongols beat them yesterday very comfortably. And this is another very comfortable loss against a team they should be beating every day of the week. What's going on with G2 in Pro League at the moment? Anyway, fist bumps are in, and we have to focus on Falcons and BetBoom once again. And actually, we've seen this quite often from Falcons, haven't we?
The 4CB.
Out the bomb plant, they're forcing.
Yeah, they do it a lot, especially on T side. And to be honest, I kind of like it because you know how frail money is just anyway on the CT side. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Tech 9s and Scout would indicate to me that SunPayus is going to be the point man, hopefully dealing out some tags on towards some of these BetBoom players, and then the Pistols could try and mop up. It could also be an element of how close can the Pistols get without BetBoom noticing onto one of these bomb sites. Scaling through Fountain and Connector. If you can worm your way in towards the toilets, or I guess the subway / train, tram, bus stop, whichever one it is, without being noticed, and then you explode onto that site, that can get a little bit dangerous. But we've seen this setup time and time again work out for the Falcons in this first half, and with the weaponry advantage, it shouldn't be an issue. Zorta has already found the first, the Scout's in the back, and, well, Zorta's hitting everything.
That's really nice from Zorta. He's made the FAMAS look good there, which is an impressive thing in itself. Very nicely done. And yeah, his rifle work has always been pretty good. He's not just known for his AWPing. We've been talking about him. Lots of people have been talking about him for many a year. Or many a month, I should say. Many a year would be a bit ridiculous. But many a month in the words of perhaps an upgrade to Cloud9. They need an AWPer. He is an AWPer. And his rifle work has been superb in history as well. He's got a very distinctive style as Zorta. I mentioned it earlier, especially on a map like Overpass. If you didn't have player cams on and you were just watching an online game and you were watching Zorta, it's actually quite obvious to see it's him. Because of the way he moves, the way he strafes, the way he looks at the wall when he falls back in certain angles as well. It's actually weirdly distinctive, which is pretty cool to have players who have a style like that. Chiron will have some pistols to try and deal with here. Build up some confidence. MP9 gets one as well, and wow, that's going to hurt. But Siren gets the kill anyway.
Yeah, it's almost like Zorta has like got here like racing lines in order to get his like best foot forward where it comes to finding space. And if he can get there even a couple of milliseconds earlier than his opponent, he can profit. Falcons tried to race up long themselves. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Siren dinked Chiron. It didn't matter anyway because Dupree hit a lovely headshot, but
yeah,
still ain't ideal. But look at the benefit of grabbing these pistols in the conversion rounds, though. Immediately, you're back up to within 1 round of contention. Already, this becomes a little bit scarier. Now, Zorta out with his weapon of choice. Magisk takes a lot of space in towards short. Boost up. Not punished.
That's awkward. So frustrating when you have the vision on the short play on that boost, but they just shift underneath your crosshair and the wallbang can't finish them off. No lives lost yet, but maybe now. There we go. Maden will deal with Magno as he tries to push towards short and that control. Basics of Overpass tend to dictate that whichever side has short control has quite a significant advantage, especially if it's the CT side. Stop the T side from doing those executes toward B. Having a second pathway into the B side. Now, toward long, SunPayus has got the vision with the AWP and he's got a flash. Is he looking to perhaps send Dupree in on that angle? Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's been tasked with this alone. Make some noise as well. And now this flash is getting primed. When does he want to look for it? The answer's now, and that's when Zorta swings into the angle, and he does actually expect Chiron to be there too. He checks it nicely, but Chiron wins the duel. 20 seconds. Time is an issue now, but Dupree's all the way in toward bank. They've got the bomb down toward truck. Dupree may have been tagged, but BetBoom on this rotation. I'm not sure how you find a way to win this one. 3 versus 4. Dupree's been an absolute, well, nuisance. That is so cheeky, going straight through that smoke. Siren will find a trade, but it might be down to Chiron to do some more work. They're still in this. There's a kit on Siren and a smoke on Chiron as well. Dupree goes down, and Magisk has been on this long B flank all this time. Smoke onto the bomb. Siren's going to hold it. He's the one with the kit. Magisk can't find it. And BetBoom have found a way.
Yeah, really nicely done from BetBoom, because as soon as Dupree gets down in towards CT, grabs the kill on towards Nafany, I think he timed out, actually, which is a little bit unfortunate. So credit to BetBoom for winning the round anyway. But Dupree just thinks the round's over. But the flank was so far removed from the fight. And this is really smart from SunPayus, by the way, because him jumping that little bit there gives the audio to Chiron, which baits the AWP into his line of sight. And because the AWP's conveniently come around the corner after he's made that audio, he knows there's going to be a player up close. But it's Chiron ultimately to win out that fight onto SunPayus, even leg Dupree in the process, upgrades himself back to the AK, and pulls BetBoom over the line.
What a recovery. 3 versus 4. They were quite far away on the rotations, as I said. I mean, they had 2 in bank, but they were kind of locked off, right? Dupree did his cheeky move. And you thought that may have sealed it. And I think Falcons probably thought they'd sealed it as well, because that's why Magisk was kind of already toward B, maybe predicting that's where they'd fall away and save, right? So he could stop the exit, stop the saved weaponry from being taken through. So getting caught out a bit there, Falcons. 8 rounds apiece on the harder T side. BetBoom on their pick, delivering.
It's one of those plays as well you're going for the around the world just to try and deny the save, and if it works out, it's fantastic. If it doesn't, then you're so far out of the chances of being able to deal with that retake. Zorta fires off the AWP, and that gives an indication to the Falcons that players might still be up close, but he's still hanging around. He's still pretty invested into taking these fights. Maden on Siren, and Maden's just walked through the smoke. So now he gets short for free. There is that kill with the AWP out long. But his rotation is so far away from the B bomb site that Falcons might just go early. Oh,
this
wow, that timing.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. He's heard it. Maden has failed the jump on towards short there. Couldn't get off the railing, onto the ledge, into the water to do it silently. And Siren will pounce, as will Nafany. And Magno secures it. That is a really nice readjustment there from BetBoom. That one tiny mistake from Maden, not getting down onto short silently, that could have genuinely been the turning point in that round.
It really could have been, especially because he found the gap to walk through the smoke on towards short. I like the idea from Falcons. As soon as they see the AWPs out long, they want to throw it in towards B to kind of get ahead of all of these rifles, but it's really good utility. Put down at the same time the contact's been found by Zorta out long. It gives him time to reset. It also prevents that scaling. So good micro from BetBoom. Catching out Maden over at short is just a cherry on top. So it really could have unraveled everything. Falcons take a pause, a moment to breathe. They're relegated back down to the Tech 9s, and BetBoom could go in the lead and establish a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, great chance for this now. Been a bit of a streaky game, of course. BetBoom won the opening pistol on their T side. They won the conversion without actually having to kill a single player. If you remember, it was a 1000 HP intact round. And the following conversion after that to make it 3-0 against that same purchase. Only won one round after that. Falcons have yet to win a round themselves on their T side now. Damaged onto Snappy already with the Mac 10. Looks like Falcons are going to try and pounce with this full execute in toward B with this util. And yes, already spammed through the smoke. Magno will find that extra bullet onto Snappy. The pistols are strafing onto the site, but Chiron finds Magisk comfortably. SunPayus wandering his way through, gets taken down, and this is clean from BetBoom. Not a single point of damage done to the CT side from Falcons. Their money is bolstered. And now, Falcons are going to have to do it the hard way.
Yeah, sweaty palms now for Falcons because it felt like they were in complete control in that first half. This was 8-4, if you remember. And suddenly they haven't posted a single round since swapping over to that T side. Can be difficult overpass, obviously, but the momentum is well and truly with BetBoom. AWP out for SunPayus. That needs to be the difference maker. Already shown strength out towards long. And long is exactly where, once again, this AWP Zorta is heading.
He loves this. I know he's only 10 and 9, Zorta, in this game, and 3 of those frags are with the FAMAS against one of the ecos, but CT side overpass is one of his playgrounds without a doubt. Deserves to be spoken about. Magno as well, 17 and 9. Playing really well. New boy on the team. Still very young, of course. Oh, the timing on the long push. Hang on a moment. There's a world, and there is that world. Snappy gives it a glance, but it's a second too late. Chiron takes the frag. Beautifully done. Mid-round aggression from BetBoom, catching Falcons out again. Not sitting back and letting them dictate the pace. Assertiveness on the defense from BetBoom.
Well done from Siren as well, because he rotates up, he drops the smoke towards toilet, it gives time for the AWP to now reposition, and he prevents the gap from Dupree being exploited. So currently you're subjected to toilet, subjected to long. It always feels like an A play, especially with 30 seconds left, and Molly could come forward towards long. There's another smoke that could go in towards bathroom, and Siren's rotated. Everyone's in position. I don't even think you go for this if you're Falcons. 20 seconds left. If you don't find anything in the next few seconds, you might want to call it off, and that should be it. Especially with Chiron locking them out. Maden's pushing. Maden's getting aggressive here. He will find Zorta and the follow-up. But the bomb's too far away. Falcons can never win this round, so it's just collateral damage.
Yeah, and honestly, that's fine for Maden to get those 2 kills, but it is pretty risky. There's not really much point in trying to limit the CT economy in the state it's in now. Look at it. They had, before the buy of utility in this round, they had 4 players on quintuple digits, I think. But again, it's Chiron. We mentioned he can be explosive. We mentioned... You see it in beautiful slow motion there. Taking down the 2 Danish legends. Stepping up when needed for his team. giving Falcons no chance. And of course, the save does give them something to work with in this following round, but we've got 3 Galils in play. Oh, is Nafany looking to perhaps go through the monster smoke? I would doubt it. He's still got full utility, and yeah, still fall away. Often when you see a contact play being pushed through monster, it's 2 players sitting in the smoke waiting for a flash from a third. Not this time for BetBoom, trying to keep it stock solid on B. As we said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right now, things are working.
This is so smart from BetBoom. We'll get into why in just a moment for the overall game picture, but even in this round, Magno's taking short control, Siren's still jump spotted to try and bait that no one's there, and Nafany is still being a menace. How many times are BetBoom going to have a player just tucked behind barrels? And here's that activation. Oh, wow. Magno gets deleted. 50 seconds. Falcons start to commit in towards this B bomb site. Siren can drop the incendiary. Nafany can peek on his terms, and the flashbangs aren't here, but Magisk is. Siren next up and needs to deliver with more, and he does. 2 calculated headshots, and now the rotations are here, but Snappy finding more. Leaves it all onto SunPayus and Dupree, and in fact, just make it 1 for BetBoom. B bomb site compromised. Zorta might go for a cheeky play. Thinking about edging this smoke, walking through on a timing, and won't find Dupree. The shot connects, but the kill not converted. And now the retake becomes a little bit more tricky. SunPayus on the off angle, and he locks it in. The Falcons just about get their first T-side over the line.
That is huge for Falcons, and huge from SunPayus again. It's such an important frag towards CT, and then the off angle on the last is superb. Of course, Zorta goes for that because he's got so much money in the bank to give it a go. Siren absolutely did his best, and Chiron being able to peek off his contact kept the round very interesting, but SunPayus' positioning was superb. Now, Falcons, of course, only won that round with 2 players alive, so Snappy's had to commit to a MAC-10. SunPayus looking to get a clean entry straight away off the bat, but we all know that these wall bangs through short can be so common, and more chip damage comes through. Of course, every little helps with that chip damage. It makes those M4s be an instant headshot rather than just a dink. Definitely the case for Magisk and SunPayus now. Maybe even for Maden, really close range. Nade over the top from Siren. Magisk eats that one too. I've always liked Siren as a player. Up to 17 and 10 in this game. I thought he's been very consistent on this team, in a team basically that can be very inconsistent, full stop. And it's working out nicely for him today. Lovely mid-round short boost to remove Magisk from Magno. And Falcons' last decision actually might just be a contact play through short. They're going to just need to hit the headshots here. Maden at least starts it off nicely, but Nafany's ready, and he finds his counterpart Snappy. Siren finds Maden, and BetBoom eking ever closer to map points.
Oh, especially with that one. Dupree trying to find a timing, nearly hits it. It would have been complicated anyway with the position that Chiron was in. But it's so smart out of BetBoom. The flash that Nafany throws from Monster forces Magisk back into where the boost can see. So they're able to just grab that one for free. And by playing and maneuvering towards close Monster is not a setup that BetBoom have really implemented all too much in this second half. And Falcons have been finding a lot of space in B when they're going pure contact. That's how they were able to isolate those kills in the previous rounds. They try it again. They're able to find the first instance, but the crossfires are then already established. And by picking players off in the mid-round really just helps things out. Even with Chiron just being a nuisance in claiming all the space in toilets means that this defense can just remain here. And they're ready and prepared. Map point on our beloved Overpass.
Yeah, I was watching that slow motion replay of that Zorta upshot actually. Had quite a blurry scope on that one, so sometimes those kills don't come through when the scope is that blurry, but very small amount of luck perhaps was on his side that time. His crosshair was in the right place. But everything seems to be going BetBoom's way. There's been one flash in the pan for Team Falcons on their T side. It was an 8-4 half for them. This is kind of the pattern that Overpass has shown us over the years, of course, even on Global Offensive, one of the most CT-sided maps in the pool. And BetBoom are proving that so far today. Falcons need 3 in a row. With a Mac 10 and a Tech 9 in play to take us to OT.
Yeah, let's see. It feels difficult. Smoke lands to give short entryways. And now a blow on the smoke doesn't quite land, so Nathani's going to try it again. Gives Auto a line. But he can't see SunPayus. Falcons are very much committed in towards B. This has been the only way in which they've been able to find success. Nathani turns from the flash, still caught by it a little bit, but maden will trade, and then Zorta on the line once more. The Falcons are cracking their way in. A 3-on-3. Magno here in the sewers alongside Siren, trying to lock out Falcons one more time, and it's working. And they've done it. BetBoom have survived the storm that Falcons posed on the defense and mounted a strong resilience of their own. It's 13-9 on their map pick of Overpass.